What's cracking there, buddy? Welcome back to the channel. New video. Well, it's only a day after. It's only a day after the senseless execution of Charlie Kirk. I did a video on it yesterday. Also did a live on it. And yesterday, like today, there's still a lot of unanswered questions. Yesterday, there were people literally dancing, cheering what happened to Charlie Kirk. I don't even, back in my days when I was a gang member and a criminal, I don't even remember people in that lifestyle dancing and celebrating when a bitter rival had his life taken. So to see people who aren't of that lifestyle, who are supposedly normal, productive members of society, to see them cheer a senseless murder, it's pretty mind blowing, right? There's a suspect, and they're doing a manhunt for the suspect, but you know what? That's gonna do whatever it's gonna do. That's gonna be whatever it's gonna be. There's gonna be conspiracy theories if that they even catch the right person. But I want this video to be more about Charlie and his family. I used to watch Charlie Kirk a lot on TikTok. And I was always very impressed by that young man. He's the same age as my daughter. And whenever he would converse with other people, the depth of his knowledge when it came to the Bible was always so impressive to me. Whenever he was engaging with anyone in conversation, the depth of his understanding of the topics was very impressive to me. A young man that age with knowledge that deep, who knows what he could have done later in life, in politics, or just in guiding people. We'll never know. But we do know that what he did so far was very impactful, right? Even if you disagree with someone when they're that brilliant, you should at least be like, I don't agree with everything he says, man, but I have to acknowledge the time it must have taken to learn that much and retain it, right? That's powerful. Now, Charlie he left behind a wife and 2 children. Condolences to Erica, his wife, the family, the children. Hopefully, Erica will be allowed to live as peacefully as possible and raise her children the best that she can. Erica is a powerhouse in her own. She's a former Miss Arizona. She has founded and runs different spiritual entities, I'll call them. And if she's anything like her husband, then I'm sure through the pain, it will focus her energies on her children and on the work that she does. Charlie and Erica have made it a point to keep their children's names and faces out of the spotlight, out of the media, because, children don't ask to be a part of that. And I respect that. Unfortunately, I think one of the children was actually in the tent and witnessed her father being murdered. I don't know how old that child is, and I don't think it matters. Charlie Kirk was that little girl's hero. That was her provider. That was who gave her the hugs when she needed them. Charlie was the one who reassured her when she was worried or whatever. And she doesn't have that anymore. Whoever took Charlie's life didn't see him as a father, as a provider, as someone who was a family man, who loved and was loved. He saw Charlie Kirk as someone who hurt his feelings, who offended him. And because he was offended by Charlie Kirk's words, he destroyed lives. I talk about this often. Charlie Kirk is his primary victim. The secondary victims, we don't know. It's like when you throw a pebble in a pond and you see the initial impact and then you see the ripples. Those ripples are the other victims that weren't the direct victim. There needs to be some civilized discourse now that this happened. There needs to be people that are going to just literally say, this has gone too far. How is it in America where we're allowed freedom of speech and we're allowed to publicly question our government and each other? How is it that now someone with a voice loud enough to be heard by millions needs to be silenced permanently because of a disagreement, because of differing opinions on whatever it was? I'll be surprised if the suspect, I'll be surprised if he's apprehended alive. And if somehow there's a shootout or the shooter takes his own life, that just adds more conspiracy theory. I don't believe this administration would I'm not going to get into all that stuff, but I just wanted to make sure that I wanted to paint the picture of Charlie as not just somebody who engaged people and challenged their belief system. I don't want to just have that Charlie out there. I don't know Charlie personally, but I hope other people will Google personal facts and, get on one of these AI, Chat GPT or whatever it is, and find out as much as you can about that man, his schooling, his family, his motivations, his likes, and get a better in-depth understanding of who Charlie Kirk was and what he meant to people. I'm sure there's going to be there's a ton of videos about Charlie, and I hope that it isn't just, those videos aren't just about what happened. There are bigger platforms with more resources that could do a great video on fleshing out who Charlie Kirk really was. And this was just my attempt at trying to do that. It's my video for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Everybody, please be safe, be smart, and tell the ones you love that you love them, man. I'm out of here.